Hi all, this is my Angling Direct Advent Calendar challenge. So my wife got me the Angling Direct Advent Calendar for Christmas. Sure most of you would have seen it on the website, on Facebook, on Instagram. Now I decided to do this video 19 days into it, so by then it's practically all ripped to pieces. So I haven't physically got the advent calendar here now, but I've got a picture of it which you would have seen on the intro. The actual advent calendar itself, a super cool picture on it with all different species of fish, drawn by an artist called Stan Art. If you have a look on Instagram, he does a lot of the cartoon pictures for Angling Direct, like their Christmas cards, etc. And he also does a lot of other art. Have a look on his Instagram, it's really worth a watch. It's amazing, some of the work he does. Which part of that made it sort of a bit bittersweet, tearing it apart each day. But the upside was you've got a treat each day at the advent calendar. Now, obviously not your conventional advent calendar, you didn't get a chocolate each day, instead you got a bit of tackle. 24 items in total. So my original idea was to do this as one big video, and what my challenge is I want to catch a fish using every bit of tackle that came from the advent calendar. But we're currently in January, so as you know we're in lockdown 3. So there's a lot of travel restrictions which are going to get in the way of me doing that. So instead of doing it as one big video, I'm now going to split it into series, because otherwise by the time I can travel around properly, everyone would have forgotten what the advent calendar was. So on this video here I'm going to go through with you what I've got in the advent calendar. Anything here which I can show you, how good it is now, I will. But the big task is to catch something with every bit of tackle. So to begin with, day 1 came this little fella. Now you perch anglers will know what it is. It's a drop shot. So it comes with the lure, little weight, and the hook and line. So for drop shotting, so not a bad little one. So I'll be going after perch with that. Day 2 was a drop shot again, but this time it came with a worm. Once again, that's more for the perch anglers than anyone else. Day 3, wire trace. So the wire trace is for when you're fishing for predators, mainly pike. It won't bite. If you get a bite, it won't bite off. So it's quite a good quality one. It's in the brand. You have at one end, you have a little clip for clipping on your lure, and your other end, you've got your swivel. So we'll get that in focus. You've got your swivel for attaching to your mainline braid, whatever it is you use. So obviously this would be used when fishing for pike. Day 4. Got this little lure. So I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's not really, the advent calendar isn't really for if you're just a carp fisherman, a match fisherman. It really was made for the all-round angler, which I imagine they might do something different next year because of the popularity of it. They might split it into different sections, course, carp, predator, but this year they've done it as all round, and for someone like me who fishes for anything that swims, it's brilliant. So that's the little lure. So nice little fella, so hopefully we can pick up a jack pike or something on that, and I would use that in conjunction with days 3. So hook on like that. Right, so day 5, another bit of, you can catch perch and pike on these. This is a spinner. Take it out of the package. it for you so you can see better. So more for use if you're in cloudy water, little as it goes through the water and as it flashes, you would the same for the pike to see. So once again would use that with the trace as well to protect it. Right, now on to pike float. So this is more for if you're dead baiting or live bait. So it just pulls out, you run your line through it, you'd set your wire trace up at the other end with your live or dead bait on it. You know, work out what height you want it up or down the line, whether you want the bait on the deck or whether you want it dangling. Push that through, it will hold the line in place. So good bit of kit this. Right, so next we've got the bubble float. So this is something that carp anglers would use in summer seasons when the pike are high up in the water, heated off the surface. You attach this to your line, it gives it a bit of weight to cast out. You can put a shot on each end to hold it in place, and then as it floats on the water and you have sort of 3 foot away, you have your floating bread or pellets, whatever it is you decide to use. So that will use that for targeting carp. Artificial bait, seen these a couple times lately with a couple of magazines have given them out for free. You've got a couple artificial maggots, artificial corn in yellow and red, and then artificial pellets. So I'll probably use that for a different variety of fish. I might use the maggots for topping on top of a boilie, going for carp, so it's a good tactic in the winter. The bread and the sweet corn and I'll probably use for chub or something like that, and the pellets I'll probably use for carp again. Right, we've got ready made up Ronnies here. Once again, this is a carp fishing tactic. So a lot of you will know what that is already. So you've got your hook stop, your hook, you've got a little running O-ring, quick change swivel. So then the idea is I'm going to be attaching that to probably a bit of boom and then using it as the Ronnie rig for a pop up on top. You get 2 of them in the pack. This one here is a bit tangled up, but it is an air rig. Now they have, if you look on the Angling Direct website, when they're advertising what's inside the advent calendar, they have advertised this as a deluxe air rig. So obviously you have to run that under the kettle because it's got a bit of memory in it there. You don't want to see it like that, but if you run it over the kettle, that will straighten it out. So what is that? So it's basically a micro-barbed hair rig that comes with that coated. Right, this one here is a 1 hook distance rig, so this is for sea fishing. So it'll be very strong filament, it's a big old hook inside it. Because of current lockdown rules and things like that, it's probably going to be one of the last things I get to try out, so that might have a video all for itself. But good bit of kit nevertheless. These here, I use these a lot. You can use them for, they're called float stops, but I use them for chub fishing, for holding a shot in place to make my leader anti-snag, sorry, not tangle. Or you can use it as a float stop. So you put a bit of line through the loop, pull it off, put your float on, put the line through the hoop again, pull it off, and then that will hold your float in place. Obviously weighted floats, but I use a lot of these, so that's a good bit of kit to get with it. Pole rig. I don't do any pole fishing, but my son's got a whip, so I can attach this to my son's whip and I'll target some small silvers with it. It doesn't say anything else about it. I don't know what the hook size is, what the strength of the line is, but so that's why I'll just target silvers. I'll deliberately go somewhere where I know there's no carp, because if I snap it, it's only got one, so I've only got one attempt to catch a fish on that. Otherwise, I failed challenge. Bottle opener. A lot of us have been on the bank and wish we had a bottle opener with us. Just sort of in the Angling Direct red on a keyring. 10 out of 10. It does the job. I'll probably attach it to the zips on one of my bags. It's just handy to have. Right, this side here is pellet hooks to nylon. Now, I'm never going to get this open. Am I? So you've got a tiny, so see if I can get that in focus. Right, so you've got a tiny size 14 hook with kind of a hair on it and then a bit of elastic attached to the hair. So you put the pellet around the elastic. There's more of a match method. So we'll give that a go. Got 3 of them, so it doesn't matter as much if one of them breaks. I've got more to play with. Right, so you've got the pellet hooks to nylon and quick stop needle. So you've got the quick stop needle and quick stops. So the way to work with these is they come with right, so these are the quick stops. Now you might be able to see in the middle of the quick stop there's a little hole. So when you tie your rig, you tie it so on your hair that this goes through your hair. Then let's take one off to show you. Bit fiddly, to be honest. Right, so then you put this through that hole there and then you push it through the bait, so whether it's a pellet, what I'm probably going to use them for is I'm probably going to use them for chub, and then I'll put this on there and I'll push it through some luncheon meat. They're quite good for that because it's not too heavy and it holds it on quite nicely. So you've got quite a few of them on there, and the little tool, so you can always just buy reloads. You've got the tool for good now. You've got a baiting needle. So we've all lost hundreds of these, so they're always handy to have. This is the one with the little clasp on it, so that it holds the line on, holds the line in place. So get your boilie or pop up, you just push it straight through. Hook on your hair rig to the hook, the cast will go back over, and then as you pull it off, it's on your hair rig. So I've lost hundreds of these over the years, so they always come in handy. Hooks to nylon again. So these are size 16 hooks. There's 3 of them in there. Once again, I'll probably go fishing for something like dace or roach or something like that using them, because I don't know the strength of the line. They're too small to catch carp with, or you know, you probably get bream on them, or tench. But because I don't know the strength of the line, I will just stick to silvers. Knot puller. Handy tool. So when you tie a rig, you want to check your knot. So attach that to one end, and so to your swivel with her, and to pull, and then you can check the effectiveness of your knot. You know, using something like this can help your catch rate, because you could not be pulling your knot tight enough. With this, it's strong enough you can get a real good grip on it and a real good pull, where it'd be a lot harder to try and pull it like that because your hands slip. Line cutter, this is, you know, really handy for a mobile angler, someone who's, you know, moving about a lot, doing stalking, because you've got the little blade in there, and that will cut your line. Little hole at the top so you can hook it on to something. You just see me open this, I haven't tested, I don't even know if it will cut through line, see how good it is. So a bit of line there. Ah, look at that, straight through. Yeah, that's going to come in very handy. So, loop tire. I've never used one of these, I've always just done it by eye, but when I make rigs for this video I will use it. Basically you've got different sizes which you can, so instead of trying to guess how big your hoop's going to be, you can put your hoop around it and then tie up to that, and then your hoop should be the same size every time. So I've never used one before, but you know, for someone else it might be a really good bit of kit. Now they've done a little carp accessory pack, they've called it. And inside it you've got green anti-tangle sleeves, you've got green lead kit clips, and you've got swivels, silver swivels. Right, so what have we got here? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, so you've got 5 of each. So that will come in handy. Majority of carp anglers would have either used these in the past or use them now, depending on the situation you're fishing. But yeah, that'll be handy, 5 of each. Right, so on to day 23 now. So day 23, okay, method feeder, 15 grams. I use these quite a lot for my match fishing. It's a bit tight that, I've got nothing to pull it out with. But yeah, so you'll put your line straight through it, attach it to that swivel there, and then you attach your rig to the other side of it. So I'll probably use what the Angling Deluxe rig, so that the springy rig that will straighten out. I'll probably use that with the method feeder together on a match lake which has some bigger fish. So it's always better to have stronger stuff, because you don't just leave loads of hooks in the fish's mouth. Then day 24, I did expect something a bit special for day 24, because you know, from the chocolate ones you get the bigger chocolate, so I thought Angling Direct would put something different. But they've put the mould. This is the mould for the feeder. So you put your pellet mix, or whatever it is you're using, into here, put the method feeder on top, squeeze down, and then when you take it off it will all be sitting nicely on top. Some people put their hook bait on there as well. I don't do that for fear of tangling, but each to their own. So that's it, so that's everything that's come with it. You know, so far the only really thing I've shown you how to use is the bottle opener. Everything else in here, you know, if you want to talk about value for money, I think it is very good value for money. It was $14.99 for the Advent calendar, and if you just pick out a handful of these things, they could come to that price. Yeah, they're not the branded ones, but as long as they do the same job, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, you can pick up a handful of this stuff and that would come to over £15 if you're looking at the branded stuff. I imagine a lot of this has come from Angling Direct's own brands. But yeah, so that's the end of this one. So I've shown you everything that come with it. I hope that's a bit more of an insight. Next step for me is to get out on the bank. Like I said, we're in lockdown number 3 at the minute. I have got some local lakes that I can go to, so it's probably going to be mainly the carp and stuff I'd use for river fishing that would get used first of all, because following the guidelines that's what I can get to. A lot of this now is going to be filmed on my GoPro. I'll try where possible to get as many cameras up as I can to make it the best video possible for you. But all in all, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. It's the end of part 1. Please come back and have a look at part 2, because I'm going to do everything I can to make it as good as it can be. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.